We'll just wait a few minutes for Shashank to join, okay?
To join the meeting. I was sitting on some other link for so long. 1 second.
No, Shashank.
Okay. So, how's it been last few days? I think we recently spoke, right? Yeah. Okay. So today we'll. Okay. First, market update before we even start the lecture. Can you guys give me any market update? What's been happening? What happened in the last week?
So apparently, the metal stocks are performing really well. So Jindal Steel recorded, highest sales in this year, and the stock is currently 6% up. So all the metals, Tata Steel, Jindal Steel.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Also, did you see the news right now? TCS, not now actually, but TCS yesterday's news that they did a very good net profit.
Yes.
Yeah, 7% increase in profit, I think.
Even they announced a dividend also.
Dividend as well.
Yeah, they announced dividend also.
Yeah.
Yes.
1 sec. Just trying to screen share.
Try now.
Naveen, I need screen share access.
I gave check.
Okay, got it.
And Vedanta promoters want to sell their 10% of the shares in open
Yeah,
market.
I was coming to that only, that Vedanta guys have just come out right now, but it's so weird because they did it before. So all of the guys who don't know what he's talking about, Vedanta, if you look at the news right now, their promoters have asked for a buyback of around at 160 rupees.
Yes, now they are selling and same the price 160.
Yeah, because it's very weird because they did something like this very similar a few months ago as well. First they said they want to delist it or something. So a lot of things they're doing, I think, I don't know, they're just boosting up the price constantly. Promoters of Vedanta make an open offer up to 37.2 crore shares at 160 rupees a share. It represents 10% of the entire equity stake of the company and they want to buy it back. Last time they did something very similar, didn't go through.
Yeah.
So it is slightly weird. Apart from that, even Avenue Supermarkets came out with their thing.
Yes,
DMart.
yes,
Avenue Supermarket
even,
is DMart, by the way.
yes, yes. Even their numbers also very good.
Their numbers also are apparently good. So you can see that Vedanta and DMart will go up on Monday morning.
Buyback is a good
Maybe
thing for the company, right?
Vedanta come down. Actually, it's more than 160 rupees.
Wait, what is the buyback? What is
It's
Vedanta?
on 12% discount.
Ah, no, 7.2
That's okay. It'll still go up.
Still go up.
Because if
promoter share will increase, right?
Promoter share will increase, number one, 10% of the number of shares in the market goes out of circulation.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it should increase. Monday, I don't know how they'll react to the price, but overall, it is a bullish trend. If you look at how they performed from November, it's doubled almost. It's actually doubled.
But price has to adjust to the number, right? 160.
Sometimes not. It depends on how the market takes the thing. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Because number of the shares they are selling is
Usually what companies do is they give a buyback at a higher rate. Now at 182 means 200 they give buyback. So they're giving a buyback at 182, which is, yeah, I mean 160 means it should go down back here, which is very surprising, which is very stupid also by companies not to do that. So I don't know why they're trying to purposely put their share price down. Don't know. Or why would anyone sell it at 160?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the question.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, that was my point. Like,
No, someone
why
else said something.
200, right?
Sorry?
The buyback should have been about,
Correct. The buyback should have been around 200, not around 130, 160.
But like one alternate theory that can be like they want to acquire all the shares. So the one way is like lower the value of shares and buyback, like according to their strategy, right?
Yeah, but they would lose much more net worth, right?
But
buybacks generally are a good thing for a company. I mean, for the shareholder.
Yeah.
Right?
In long term, isn't it good to have if promoters want to increase their percentage?
Yes, long term it's good, but promoters increase their percentage without telling anyone and they just keep buying back the shares if they want to at current market price.
But who's going to sell the shares to Vedanta promoters at 160?
Nobody. So what will happen? I'll tell you what will happen. What might happen. The smart thing, what is going to happen is if the market reacts in a bad way to this, the share price will start going down towards 160. High chances it will go slightly below 160. Obviously, you can't expect it to be at 160 with the buying selling pressure, right? If it goes towards 140, 150, 145, then all the smart people who want to make a quick buck will buy at 145 and then sell it back to the promoters at 160. Basically, all the people who bought here at 180 or even 182 are going to have a big problem. But long term, as soon as the buyback is over and if it becomes a success, then the price has to adjust again by 10%. So it'll go up. It'll actually go up a lot.
Shashank, how does the buyback happen? I mean, if the promoters want to buy it, how do they buy it from us?
How do they buy it? So there's two ways to do it. One, they'll just slyly buy. Okay, that is not an open offer, but they'll just slyly buy. Like, see, this is block deal, bulk deals, but there is insider trading like this. See, Vedanta holding Mauritius 2 Limited acquisition from a market purchase. They just picked it up from the market. Look at this. This was on December 26th, like what, 2 weeks ago. They bought so much quantity at 159.96. 3% of the total traded quantity they bought. Okay, sometimes they can just buy it like this. He bought again same day. Look at this, same day, another December 26th, another big purchase of 1.98. And I don't know who this guy is, but he bought 3,200 quantity, designated person. Yeah, so basically you can buy it directly from the market. Those days the market will shoot up. Obviously the price will shoot up. So if you actually look at it, 159.96, right, on December 26th. 159 over this day. If you look at this day, it will be in green. On this day, 159. Where did 159 go? See this? It'll be in green because it was pushed the entire day. This was a single day candle on December 24th. They traded on December 26th, right? What? Market was trading on 26th or not?
Maybe no, maybe it's Saturday.
Yeah, but it says December 26th. Maybe the date is wrong. So they bought it on that day, which has boosted the price up, because obviously if someone's buying so much, it'll go up. One is this. The other is they have a different link where you can go ask to sell, put your DP ID, etc., and then you can put the price and they'll buy it from you, and you get the money in your account. Like how you apply for IPO. Imagine it's a reverse IPO. Got it?
No, last time we discussed about IRCTC offer for sale, right?
Yeah.
So you told us about how the price is going to adjust and it's going to go down.
Yeah.
So this time,
it should. It should adjust. It should adjust. See, OFS was different. Buybacks are different. Buyback is removing shares out of the market.
Mm-hmm.
If you remove shares out of the market, obviously the price has to adjust. Whereas OFS is increasing the shares in the market,
Right,
which
got
will
it.
dilute the price.
Yeah.
Two opposite things. But buyback at a lower price is very shocking. Usually it's always at a higher price so that it incentivizes buyback. So when you give buyback at a higher price, means you're serious about the buyback.
Yes.
When you give higher buyback at a lower price, means you're fucking around at the market. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did this something very similar they did before. They were just screwing around, right? I think what was that? Delist. Look at this. Some nonsense they did again, right? And the shares went up 13%, hit 52-week high. Promoters make bid to scoop up shares from the open market. They said that they want to delist the entire company and stuff like that, all nonsense, etc. And the delisting never happened.
Yes, big players asked around 420 rupees, I think so.
Yeah, so it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, but the share price went up.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's a very weird game. It feels very driven by promoters, and it's very stupid after whatever it is. So I don't know what it is. So I'm going to leave it. We'll see how the market reacts. It's a learning perspective, right? We'll see how the market reacts. But also, Anil Singhvi is known in the circle for being very ruthless and very dirty when it comes to playing with money like this. He's not a very ethical businessman. Got it?
But Vedanta have lost big. I mean, at one point of time, they were trading at 300 something, like 2013, 14.
Yep. True. Anything else interesting? No, nothing else is
Shashank,
interesting.
if the current price is 182 and they want to buy at 162, like something around that, so why would someone sell at a lower price?
No one will. No one will. That's what you're right. No one will. But just like how you asked this question that why would someone buy it at lower price? It is so weird. That means everyone will, market might go down. Then I have to sell in Monday immediately because he's put it at such a low price. You will all think like that and you will start selling it. Obviously, yes, you will sell it. Like you 100 people else will sell it and the price goes down. See, market sentiment is always the same, right? If fear is there in the market, if panic is there, if uncertainty is there, the price of the share will go down. Just like what's happening with DHFL. Do you know what's happening with DHFL?
Yes. Shares valued at 0.
Yeah, so one news article came out, the share is valued at 0, but it is not confirmed. Okay, nothing's confirmed. But because of that, the price is just going down.
Yeah.
No clue. Cool. So we'll go back to screen now because I have to show you the cash flow so you can understand how to do this. And then I will update you with the assignments also in the next class. Okay. Tell me one company, what were we tracking? Some new company you guys found, we can check that out.
Go for
Astral Polytechnic.
Which one?
Astral Polytechnic.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, market cap is at 26,000, which is very high. Means it is slightly an established company, I would say. Current price is at 1,700.
Sir,
yes.
You said me to find a good stock. Now I find that.
What is it?
Like Ajanta Pharma.
I've heard of this. Okay, just let me look at this and then we'll compare it to Ajanta Pharma. We'll see what we can use as an example. Okay, your sales are very irregular. If you're seeing the sales, it is around 600, 600, 700, 600, 600, 600, 600, 400, 700. It is not growing. It is slightly stagnant. But if you look at the profit and loss account, it is last year to this year almost same growth. But other years there is quite a good growth happening. Okay, maybe that is because of COVID for this year, which is fine. The reserves are good. Borrowings are also very low, 92 only, which is also good. Okay, this is a good company. And if you look at the 1 year chart, it from 1127, it has gone up to 1762. Not a big jump actually. But if you look at the 5 year chart, very big jump. Okay. What was the other one you said? Ajanta Pharma.
Ajanta Pharma, yes.
Okay. Market cap, okay, decent. Again, same current price is 1790. This has gone from 1000 to 1790, which is again a very good, what 79% almost gone up. Good ROCE, good ROE also. If you look at the 5 year chart, oh, 5 year chart is not that great, so we'll have to see what happened. Quarterly results improving.
Sir, 10-year chart is good, 51%.
No, but it's okay. I want to look at 5 year chart. No, 10 year chart are good, but 5 years, if I have not made my money, then what is the point? In fact, 5 years ago, if I had invested at 1169 and currently it's at 1790, in 5 years, my capital has not gone up.
Okay.
In 5 years, right? You want to make money, why you want to wait for 10 years?
Yeah.
If you don't make money in one stock in 1 year, then it's not a good stock you picked. If there's so many stocks that are going, Vedanta went up by 100% in 1 month.
Yes, and Subex also.
Subex also. So there's enough opportunities. So why you want to play your money and keep it in something that is stagnant? Okay. Sales are again goodish.
Shashank, why don't we discuss about ETFs?
Why do you? What? I didn't understand. What is your question?
I'm asking them, why don't we discuss about ETFs? Like
ETF
performance of different ETFs. Like
we will talk about mutual funds in the next one, no? Because we're going to do mutual funds after the stock market. We will talk about index and mutual funds in the next one. This is only stocks. Also, if you're asking me what is better, index or stocks, I would always say stocks.
Yeah, because of dividend and splits.
Bonus, dividend splits, everything. Index will not give you that. And you can get the same growth in the company. More faster than an index fund also. If you get the right stock. Okay, let's go back to Astral Polytechnic because I like this. Export to Excel.
Shashank, there is one more company.
Which one?
Can have a look. It says Sri Ram Transport Finance.
Sri Ram.
One second. The code is SRTRAM.
Yes, this one, yeah. This is a very highly intraday stock, by the way. SR Transfin is a intraday stock. A lot of people do intraday gambling on this stock, by the way.
Mm,
Okay. 5-year chart, not great, bro.
not so good.
This means my money is not growing much. You get it, right? Boring. There's so
Mm.
many companies where your money is growing a lot. This is not a good stock. Wait, let's look at something that's, see,
Associate alcohols.
wait, what is a Tata Steel or what?
Let's say Jindal Steel. It's been
Look at
yeah,
Tata Steel. Good graph.
JSW as well.
JSW Steel. Let's look at that also. Good graph. See, there are companies that give you good returns. No problem. And Jindal, this is what JSW is at 97,000 crore. So it's not even a risky company. It's a good company. And it's in the last 1 year, it's given you almost double. Not exactly double, but almost double. Not bad, no. And what is the last one?
Company,
Tata
Kaplan.
Power. Anyhow, Tata Power segment is good in the next year, right?
Have a look at associate alcohol.
Associate alcohol. This is also good. Okay, guys, I need just one
Yes.
example to show. I cannot, if I keep doing this, I will not show you what I'm here to teach you, right?
Go with Tata Power, Shashank.
No, power stocks are very different. You will have massive debt on the books, which is stupid. It is not a good example. Power stocks are analyzed differently. Banking stocks are analyzed differently. I have to even teach you how to analyze banking stocks, which is completely different. Let's go back to take some other stock.
Go for.
Let's see Deepak Nitrite.
Kaplan.
You know, Deepak Nitrite has been going up like on madman, constantly, continuously. 1 year chart same, 3-year chart same, 5-year chart. It has always given growth.
Sir,
Yeah.
Finance app has predicted like that Deepak Nitrate and Gillette will go up in 2021.
Dude, Deepak Nitrite has gone up every year.
Yeah.
And the market cap is only 14,000 crores. If the market cap has to go up to 1 lakh crore, means this stock has to go up at least 6 times.
It will be the most profitable like stock.
Yeah, this can go up 6 times easily. I know Deepak Nitrite in the next 10 years will reach 1 lakh crore. Agreed?
Yes.
If you know for a fact it is going up unless something really bad happens of their entire factory or all their factories burned down, founder dies at the same time, the stock will still be alive, right?
That we will track now.
Yeah, so Deepak Nitrite is a very good stock, but let's see fundamentally. I don't know what is a good and bad stock. Okay. First thing, now you guys run me through until we reach cash flow. What is the first thing we check?
Number of shares.
Number of shares.
Are they decreasing or increasing?
Yeah, I'm zooming in 1 sec. Okay. Number of shares after last 3 years not moved, which means what?
Nice.
Good, right?
Not bad.
Good. Okay. Then we go to sales. Correct?
Yes.
Look at the last 5 years. We always look at. Is it good or bad?
From last year, it's good.
Last 2 years, it's good.
Yes.
Even this one was good. From 17, it jumped to 300 crores, then 1,000 crores, then 2,000 crores.
2,000 crores.
This is a massive jump.
Yes.
Now, you would all say this is yeah.
Is it a conditional formatting error that the price is going down, but it is going up, but it is red?
Which one?
Price.
Price is going up, but no, this is something else. You can check it out here. 1 second, where is that? No, that it has different parameters for each. That is why I've put everything here. Okay. No, I think the formatting was wrong there. You're right. I'll check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone reverse. See if it's 68.
Yeah,
60,
yeah.
yeah, it's gone reverse. I'll fix this. Not an issue. Okay. So one more thing to observe, guys. 1,300, 1,600, 2,699, 4,299. What is your first impression when you see this?
Massive jump from last year.
Correct.
Sales, yeah.
Yes, but what did I always tell you guys, that whenever there's a massive fluctuation, you should
Other income.
right? Whenever there's a massive fluctuation, you should investigate. So realistically, for a company to have a growth of 1,600 crores to 2,600 crores is massive. And then from 2,600 crores to 4,200 crores is insane. Correct? These are too good to be true numbers. Why did this happen? You should figure out. Right? Because a 63% growth in sales is very, very, very high. Now, I'm not saying it is a scam. I'm saying maybe a new factory opened, or maybe some new plant and machine. I don't know, something, maybe something new happened, right? But it is good to find out, because you don't want something like this to be what do you call it, a seasonal sale. What if this is some extra income coming from a 2-year contract? Then your third year, you'll go back to 1,600. What will happen to your money? Finished. Right? So don't just be happy by looking at 1,600 to 4,000 saying, wow, what an amazing company. Why did this go up? Simple way is to go read the research reports.
Shashank, I actually read an article about this. The sales went up because there was some regulations in China due to which factories were shut down there. So customers had to turn to Deepak Nitrite because they manufacture some kind of chemical. I don't know the name exactly.
So now the problem is, if China opens up again, would their sales go back down?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, they'll go back down.
So all the guys who thought that this was great might lose their money. Now it might not go back down to 1,600, because human psychology says that if China's not there and I'm going to India to buy some kind of a chemical, but this guy's a good customer, then I will stay with him. But these are corporates buying from corporates, yes or no? Corporates buying from corporates what do they only care about? Profitability. That means if Deepak Nitrite is giving them a particular chemical at the cheapest cost compared to their Chinese peer, only then will they take it. I'm saying in a post-COVID world. Until COVID, yes, Deepak Nitrite is great, China's bad, agreed. But as soon as the world opens up and we go back to normal mode, maybe in 5 years, right? China can still sell it at a low rate, and the companies will buy from China only. Why will they buy it from Deepak Nitrite?
But it is way before COVID. If you see it is March 2018.
Yeah, it was before COVID actually.
Yes, correct. So that means you need to figure out what happened in March 2019 and then what happened in March 2020 also. So that means this is not related to China shutting down.
Actually,
maybe March 2020 can be related to China.
So the pollution increased in Chinese, the area where the factories were located. So China had to shut down those factories.
Okay, so no, what I'm saying is, agreed, it can be whatever it is. My point is that when there is some jump like this, it is important to understand why. Reason can be anything, Chinese, this, that, but you should have that knowledge to understand why. Lot of normal Indians or lot of normal investors, what they do is, how they analyze, oh wow, what a beautiful growth. Or they'll go to screener here, okay, they'll go to something called CAGR. Okay, they'll see the CAGR. My God, in 3 years, it has given 58% stock price has grown. Apart from that, if they look at the compounded profit growth, it is 3 years, 137. Amazing, correct? In fact, some people would just put a screener saying compounded profit growth 127 and see what it is. Get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
A smart investor would find out, oh, you're saying it is good. Great. This seems like a very good stock. Let me figure out why. This is the first thing that would hit me. I'm like, I have a curious mind. I'm like, okay, there's something, I don't see what is good and bad. I only have curious mind. Acha, itna bada hai, Q. I want to ask Q. So I'll go find out why.
Sir, sir, I am unable to understand, like you have said, we have to investigate that massive growth, insane growth. So how will we do that?
How will we do that means? Lot of methods. No,
Like,
one is
matlab,
news
how-
articles. See, one is you just, you go to Deepak Nitrite news articles. Second is read research reports. Third is read annual reports.
Okay.
Annual report will have everything. If a company does not have research report, annual report has everything. First, see if the company has a research report. That makes your life far easier. Research report means a lot of these guys will sit and analyze the thing for you. So you don't have to do it on the annual report. There'll be big companies who do it for you. Okay. So just go click on Deepak Nitrite, go to reports. Okay, this is the reports. Come down. Now see this. This is Jan 7 to what happened? Okay. Okay, this is not reports. One sec. This is reports. Why is the trend line acting so weird? Reports. Okay, look at the last report that had come. This was the last report that came out in 2020 in August. Okay, now you want to find out why did it go up in 2019, 2020. So you keep going down and start reading some reports from here. Ideally read the ones that are good, like Edelweiss, right? They'll tell you why it is good, why is it bad.
Okay, sir.
Understood? This is how you do your research.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me go back. Okay, next, what do we look at?
Expenses.
No.
Operating profit.
Operating profit.
This one. Fluctuations, right? 10, 12, 12, 16, 24. Great. 12 to 16 is good. 24 is a bit too high.
Yeah.
4% jump I can understand. 8% jump is too much. That means one or two things have happened. Either their expenses as a proportion has reduced, or their sales have just gone up too high. In this case, the sales has gone up too high. Got it? So that is why the increase in margin. Okay, then what do we look at? Do they have a lot of loan? Not that much. Interest paid is comparatively low, so it's fine. And then directly we look at profit before tax, 806. Then we look at the tax rate. Is it fluctuating too much? No, it is not. It is completely fine. That means it is a decent stock, right? It's paying taxes with a normal tax rate, which is good enough. Okay, all this is good. Great. Then we go to the next one, which is the balance sheet. Yes. What do we look at here? Debt, loan. Okay, first we look at loan. We look at loan, and it says the loan is 1106. Okay, 1106 is their loan that they have. Total debt is 1000 crores. Then we look at something called derived interest outflow, which should be their average outflow that they're paying a year, right? So it says it should be around 137 crores. How much are they paying here? 117. Good enough. Fine, not bad. The average is good enough, but the last year average was 86 and this was 130. So this is something which is not right. Maybe they paid less. They're paying less interest in that year compared to what they're supposed to pay according to the debt, right? Because the debt was quite high. Even if you take 10% of this debt, it is 118 crores. Why is it only 86 year paid interest? So you need to figure out why, if you want to do deep dive. But these are not alarming numbers because it is not a massive gap. And because the revenues are so high, I will let it pass. Understood? Get my point, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now we go to cash flow. Now this is super important. Okay, this place is super important for you guys to understand. I look at this more than balance sheet and profit and loss. The entire world looks at balance sheet, profit and loss. The smart guys look at profit and loss account. Now in profit and loss account, I'll tell you what is important to look at. This should always be in green. Okay, there are some companies that will be in red. This should always be in green. I'll tell you what this means. Okay. Now PAT, you know what PAT is, right? Profit after tax.
Yes.
Okay, this is the profit after tax. Now cash flow from CFO is basically called cash flow from operations. What is cash flow from operations? Basically it says whatever your profit after tax is there, you add the depreciation. Correct?
Yes.
Why? Because depreciation is not a real amount going out of your bank account. Cash flow is not going out. Your cash is not going out of your company. In the books of account, you're reducing it because yes, depreciation, but in your bank, that money never goes to the government, doesn't go anywhere. So your 611 plus what is your depreciation amount, which is 139. That means 611 plus 139 should be around 731, 740, 750 approximately. Correct? That means your cash flow for that year from operations should be profit after tax plus depreciation, at least minimum. Yes.
Can you repeat this point, Ishan?
Okay, so profit after tax, you know what profit after tax is, right? I finished everything and I paid tax. 611, I paid tax. Okay, now we come to something called cash flow. Cash flow basically means how much money is going in and out of your bank account. That is called cash flow. Now, in profit and loss, you can show a lot of things and reduce your profit, reduce your loss and all that, right? But cash flow, you cannot hide because this is exactly saying, boss, where is the money going? How much money is coming in? How much money is going? This is like opening your bank statement and saying, open your bank account and show me all your expenses and income. That is what cash flow from operation is. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, cash flow from operation means basically this is equal to this amount, which is profit after tax. Or if you want to make it more clear, if you go up here, it is this amount, profit after tax, net profit amount, plus the depreciation amount. Okay.
What is depreciation?
Yes.
You don't know what depreciation is?
No.
Okay, so depreciation means, so for example, imagine you take a laptop or you take a car. You take a car, right? You know that the car's value goes down every year automatically. Like it's not an appreciating asset, it's a depreciating asset. So if I have a car of 10 lakhs, next year the car's value is 8 lakhs. Then the next year the car's value is 6 lakhs. Then the next year's car's value is 4 lakhs. Understood?
Yeah.
Now what the government says is if you're a company, not an individual, if you're a company, you can show that depreciation as an expense. So so if you buy the car, right? That is a capital expenditure. You can't show it as an expense. But the depreciation on that car, you can show it as an expense. For example, if you buy for a company, imagine you buy an AC, or you buy chairs, or you buy a laptop, or you buy a furniture, right? All of these will depreciate over time. The value goes down, it doesn't go up, right? Furniture suddenly won't go up tomorrow, it will go down only, second hand furniture, third hand furniture always is cheaper than the first furniture. So the government says that that amount that goes down every year, you can consider it as a loss. Okay, understood?
Yeah.
But
one small doubt
sure.
here. So let's say a furniture company and an automobile company that's trying to sell out cars or furniture in this case. So when they've already sold it out to customers, why would they factor in the depreciation? Because they've already sold it out.
They can't factor the depreciation.
So because you told that personal.
For them it's a for them
it's
not,
an inventory, right?
Yeah, for them it's an asset sale. For them it's a purchase. It's the main product.
Yeah, when they've already sold it, why factor in the depreciation?
But they don't
for
factor
them?
in the depreciation.
So you told that personal, people like you and me can't use depreciation as a expense.
Yeah, we
but
can't
only
do it.
companies use.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Yeah, but why do companies use it when they've already sold out their products, right?
How do companies do it? These are for products that are still in their company.
So I think that he's saying that an automobile company or a furniture company is selling its product. Then
Yes.
why they are depreciating? Otherwise,
Then they won't.
They can't do it.
they can't because
They're
it
not.
is their product. They are selling
Yeah.
those. And
At a fixed price.
And here we are saying any asset of that company which they are using to grow, which they are using as a business.
Using to generate profit.
Yeah, for example, laptop, right? That will become a depreciation cost, right? In a year. Yeah.
The laptop is not their inventory, then yes.
So basically any capital expenditure, there is a difference between expenditure that you can show as expenses here. Okay, there are some expenses you can't show. For example, if you go buy a building tomorrow, or plant and machinery you buy. Okay, machinery is the best example. Imagine you have a factory. Okay, and you have a factory and you have bought a new machine today. Okay, that new machine does not come under expenses. Imagine a factory, if I had to put machine as expenses, the expense would be much more than this, a one-time expense. That doesn't happen, right? Because the expenses doesn't come in profit and loss, it comes in the balance sheet. As your assets are increasing, you're buying more machinery, it's your capital expenditure. So you buy more assets for the company, right? Machinery is an asset, but it is a depreciating asset. So the cost of the machine, you bought a 1 crore machine for say a pharma company, a 1 crore machine. Next year, the 1 crore machine depreciates by 20%, it becomes maybe 80 lakhs. That means if I had to sell that machine after year 1, the market price would be around 80 lakhs. Correct? So 20 lakhs, I've not lost. I've not actually given that 20 lakhs away, right? It's a fictional loss. It's basically I bought it at 100, I sold it at 80, so I made a loss of 20 lakhs. That is only if you sell. If you have not sold, it is not sold. But the current market value of that current machinery after year 1 is 80 lakhs. So the government says you can show that as a depreciation. I think you can show that as an expense. So the price of that 1 crore will not be shown as an expense, but 20% of that, which is 20 lakhs, is shown as an expense. Now there is depreciation for different prices. For different companies, there are different depreciation rates for different asset classes. Okay, so if you look at, you can just go to Google and type depreciation rates in India. Okay, you can go check. Look at this. The rate of additional depreciation, 20% of the actual cost of the asset, if acquired and put to use. So there's a lot of rules and regulations on depreciation itself. Sometimes people show software also getting depreciated, dude. There's some weird way to show software getting depreciated. So it's very weird. Now look at this for an actual cost of the car, right? You can get the cost, add all this, and then the depreciation on automobiles, the entire thing is here. 15%, 20, 30%, it goes up to 30%, 45%. Understood? So depreciation is just a fictional. So you understood the main point that it is not going out of the bank account. That is the main part.
There is no outflow.
Understood? It is a fictional loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you buy a table today from Amazon of 10,000 and you try to sell it after year 1 or year 2. You and I both know you won't get 10,000 for it. You'll get maybe 8,000 or 7,000. right? You have not sold it yet, but you know the current market value of this table is not more than 7,000. So actually you're in the 3,000 loss. So the government says you can book that as a loss. You can show that as an expense. Understood, guys? But it is not gone out of your bank account.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So that means, coming back to my point, cash flow from operation is nothing but net profit after tax plus my depreciation. Okay, which is around 750. Now this extra whatever is there, it won't be exact because there are other things that you can add, small things you can add, but it should be around this. According to my logic, it should be net profit plus depreciation. Now when is this a problem? When it is not the same, and you can see this in red, right? If you're telling this year, look at this year, PAT, okay, was 173 crores, okay, plus depreciation of 77, that means it should have been 240 crores. Yes or no?
Yes.
Where did the remaining money go? It is only
So
60 crores.
it should at least be PAT plus depreciation, not less than
At
that.
least, yes, it cannot be less than that, right?
Okay.
If it
got
is less than that, then it is very bad.
Hmm.
Very bad means they have done some kind of adjustment in the books of accounts where they have shown the money going somewhere else, which is not supposed to go somewhere else, or something they have done, which is not correct. This is an ethical process, right? If it is around this, it is an ethical process. Now look at this. This is an 80 crore jump, or it actually not even 80 crore. It should be 244 crores and it's showing only 60. It's a massive. So that means almost 180 crores has been gone somewhere. Anyone confused about this concept or not? Please tell me. This is very important.
Sir, I am confused. Can you tell once more?
Okay. Did you understand this concept? 750?
Yeah.
Means basics 611 plus depreciation.
Okay.
Okay. So this company in March 2019 should be what? 173, no? 173 plus depreciation. It should be 251. Correct?
Yeah.
At least. Why is it 60? They showed 60 in this year. In March 2019, they showed 60. How much that means? Kitne ka difference hai? 191 crores.
191 ka.
That is a very big amount. 191 crores is not a small amount.
Yes.
251 is the operating profit, right?
Sorry?
251 is the operating profit, right?
251 is the profit coming from operations. Yes. Only from
Okay.
operations.
Okay.
Right? So 251 hona chahiye. 60 क्यों है? That means 191 crores ka something has happened here and there, which is a very big amount. How do you find out how that happened?
Research. Annual report.
Annual report. You go find out what happened. Why did this
Financial
become...
highlights.
Yes, financial highlights. Financial highlights usually doesn't show this part. You have to go to the cash flow of, you have to go to the profit and loss annual report of that company for that year and then figure out why this has happened. So you go to screener, go full down. All the annual reports are given here for you guys. Which year was this? 2019, right? We'll do quick search. We'll do quick search so that we don't waste too much time. But I'm just trying to explain you the funda, right? I'm not going to tell you what the answer is. I'm just trying to tell you where you have to look when something like this happens. Okay, 192 is the sheet number. Go down to 192. This is consolidated balance sheet, consolidated profit and loss. Great. Here comes my main cash flow. Okay. I'm looking at cash flow from operating activities. So what they're saying is profit for the year was 173 crores. Yes, correct. As you said, it is 173 crores. Okay. And they added income tax expense recognized something, they've added something, which is okay, fine. If they're adding, I'm okay with it. Okay. Then they added depreciation, which is great. I want to see where the money has gone out from. Okay. Massive amount of money has gone out from. Where has it gone out from? So here I don't see anything going out. Okay. It has gone up only. In fact, it has gone to 432 crores here. Here we will see something has got lafda. Okay. So what they have done is they have done increase in inventory. Guys, do you know what is increase in inventory mean?
Expansion?
Yeah.
More machineries.
They have bought more purchase. They have purchased more inventory, means their products, maybe some chemical or whatever, they have used the money that has come from their income and they have increased their inventories by 85 crores. That is why you see this is in negative. In bracket means negative. Okay. That means the money has gone out of their bank account to buy more inventory. Okay, good, fine. Not an issue at all. 85 crores is gone here. But the bigger amount is this increase in trade receivables. Now this is slightly confusing because trade receivables means you're supposed to receive income into your bank account, means it has to come in. Okay, but what it means is increase in trade receivables means this amount has not come in yet. Right, I'm supposed to receive, like say for example, Rahul has to give me 150 crores. Now tomorrow Rahul has to give me 161 crores. It has not come into my bank account yet. So he's shown this as an expense and he's shown this as something going out.
But anyhow, it will come to our account, right? In the maybe next quarter or
Maybe next quarter, maybe a quarter after that. So if you look at the next quarter result, if you look at the next result also, you will see that our result has shot up drastically.
Yes, the drastic jump.
Drastic jump, right? But I still want to see if I want to see if there's more detailed on this. I don't think there is usually, but I want to see what is that trade receivable? Why is it so high? Because it is a very, very big amount, right? If there is a possibility of finding it here, great. You should look at it and figure out what is this trade receivable that is so much. But if you can't find it, then it is a sad.
I guess in your Excel sheet, right, it was showing in the below, like 161 crores are invested in something.
Where?
In the Excel sheet. Yeah.
This is my Excel sheet. Where is 162?
Yeah, 162 in 67th row.
No, this is different. This is cash flow and investment activities. Investment activities is, I'll tell you what that is. That is a completely different thing. Operations has to be operations, boss.
Okay.
That is why they've split it into 2-3 things, right? Operation in cash flow from operation is cash flow from operation. It is coming from my operations, right? It cannot come from anything else. But I want to see what is trade receivables. It will be here. See this trade receivables, found it. Okay, now we'll see. This doesn't give me a good idea. It says unsecured and good trade receivable is around 571 crores they're supposed to receive from some unsecured considered good people. Okay, but they have not received it. And then some loss also they've got for something that they were supposed to get 71 crores, they didn't get. So they got a loss. Okay, but that still doesn't explain that big number, which is 161 crores. But you get what?
Usually mention who is going to lend them the money, or
some companies do, some companies don't, but it's also slightly confidential to do that, no? So they usually don't do it. But some companies who like to be very transparent about their stuff, it is they do it. See this, whoever asked me that question, cash flow from investing activities is different. Right? I was seeing why is it 63 crores first only in the first half, which is from cash flow from operating activities. Right? When you're saying you started the year with 267, how are you at 63? The biggest negative is 2 things, 94 crores in decrease in other financial liability and 161 crores in this. If someone is increasing inventory, I'm very happy. That means your demand is more for your company. Great, I'm very happy. Understood?
Shashank, what about the 147 crores that was subtracted in the first part?
This is not 147 crores, it is 1.47.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's in lakhs, so it's very small. I don't even look at it. You just need to look at the big ones like this, right? Like this. This is a good expense. That means you got danda acha tha, you made a lot of money. Now you just went and bought more in bulk. So if you buy in bulk, obviously what happens? Your cost of acquisition of the product reduces a lot. That's great. Samjha? Now the next thing you need to see, I'm just showing you how to see. So basically, but if you don't want to see all this, which is fine, just look at this. This is the main thing. If it is green, don't even worry about looking at this. Got it? What is green? I'll tell you what is green. And what is positive 1224. Green means over the course of whatever, this company has always shown more profit, more CFO than the PAT. That means it is good, right? If CFO is more than PAT means it is a good company. There are sometimes companies that are in minus 500, minus 600. Means cash flow from operation is always less than the PAT that they have shown and the depreciation. Always. Which is very bad, correct? Something's weird. How can your cash flow always be less than your actual profit that you have claimed to make? So this is something you need to look at. Understood or any doubts?
So what is that extra?
Sorry.
So what is that extra money which is more than PAT plus depreciation?
This is the extra money, cash flow from operations. Basically, this green is only green if the total amount of this is more than PAT, which is what it should be. CFO should always be greater than PAT. Get it?
Okay, so that extra money is depreciation, is it like?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
CFO should always be greater than PAT. So that if it is greater than PAT, this is green. If it is less than PAT, this is in red. So if it is green, do not worry.
So the difference is the depreciation, that's all.
Yes, the massive difference is depreciation, the big difference.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I think we have to switch the meeting to another thing. I think my Zoom is going to get cancelled for some reason. Naveen, are you here? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, is it going to cancel or what?
Yeah, if I start that, it might stop this. Shall I give you a Google Meet?
Okay, can you give me 10 more minutes?
Um,
Or is it going to be too late?
no, that's okay. I'll push it. It's fine.
Okay, give me 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys. Okay. So yeah, you understood this funda, boss? Simple? No doubts, no?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now there are other things like cash flow from now this, why I have not put it here, why I've said this is more important on all this, because this, the money that you're getting from the start, if that is only fundamentally flawed, then it is you're in a big problem. So this is more important than the other two. Other two, I'll tell you what it is. This is more important. Okay, so in cash flow, what you need to look at is this should be green. If this is green, the company is good, tick mark, go to the next. Like your checklist here that I've put here. Okay, if you look at the checklist, where is the cash flow over here? P&L, scanning FCF. Okay, now that is FCF. Okay, FCF is something slightly complicated, which I'll explain what FCF is also. Wait, let me go back. Okay, so you know what FCF, do you guys know what FCF is?
Future cash flows.
No, free cash flow.
No.
Okay, most of you all might not know this. I'll tell you what free cash flow is. Okay, free cash flow is basically the money that I have that is completely free at the end of my year. Full free. Not actually full free, but it is one step before full free. You know what full free means? कि मेरा सब expense हो गया. I've paid everything, tax, expense, blah, 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 blah. I've done all my investing. At the end of the year, at the end of the thing, I have this much in my bank account.
Sir.
Huh? Sorry, what? Hello?
Okay. Yep, I guess he just said yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just show it here again. Let me show it as a definition, so maybe you can find out that is easier. This is complicated. Basically, I'll tell you what free cash flow means, right? Free cash flow is whatever leftover cash that the company has. Okay? मतलब तूने सब कुछ expense कर दिया. All the expense is over. थोड़ा leftover cash कितना है? That is free cash flow. Now, free cash flow is considered good in a company because this means that I have made, say, 100 rupees. Out of 100 rupees, all my expense, kharcha, everything's done, and I have 20 rupees left. This 20 rupees I can use either for buying more or not even buying more assets. This is full free. After buying next month's inventory, after buying everything, last mein kuch paisa bacha hai na abhi bhi, right? That is called free cash flow. That means I have so much free cash flow left. 370 crores after buying inventory and all I've bought. Whatever I want to buy for next year also I've bought. Now in the end of the day, my bank account has 370 crores. I don't know what to do with it. That is called free cash flow. Understood in simple terms.
Yes. Yes.
So Shashank, what does the company do with this? Do they pay dividends or do they pay bonuses to their employees?
Yes. So usually they, depending on the free cash flow of the company, they usually give a dividend. If they don't want to give a dividend, if it's a fast growing company, they use this money and buy more, what do you call that? They use it for capital expenditure. You know what capital expenditure is?
Buying more plant machinery.
Buying more plant, buying more machinery for the next year. कि ये साल मेरा इतना है. I've finished everything. Either they will use this for capex, they will use it for dividend, or they will just carry forward and put it in their reserves. Fine.
So what is the difference between free cash flow and reserves?
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Free cash flow, and actually there's not much difference. Actually, there's not much difference. If you look at minute accounting things, there might be something that's added to free cash flow, something that's not added to reserves and stuff like that. But actually, there's not much difference. Free cash, see, reserves, you know how reserves work. Again, reserves is a part of your balance sheet, right? Reserves comes a part of your balance sheet. Like just how you know that in accounting standards, in profit and loss, you can show something as loss, you can show depreciation as loss, correct? It's actually not money going out, but you can show depreciation as loss, right? So there are a lot of things that come under reserves, because some people say net profit also should be added to reserves and stuff like that. But actually, if you look at it, free cash flow is a true metric of whether what is good, what is bad. Now, what is key free cash flow? I'll tell you what is free cash flow also. Free cash flow is your cash flow from operations that we got 750 crores, 760 crores here. Okay. Minus your capital expenditure for that year. You know what capital expenditure is? Buying your plant, buying your machinery for that year. That means, look at this. CAPEX, row number 58, is all the fixed assets that you have bought. So I had 750 crores at the start of the at the start of the year. All my profit loss I've done, I've got 750 crores. With 750 crores, I went and bought more, what do you call that? Fixed assets. Okay. Okay. Then I'm adding depreciation again to that amount. Okay. And then I'm removing work in process, whatever, if I have change in inventories, whatever, I'm adding everything, whatever, anything related to CAPEX, which is not a direct expense. I've removed all of that, minus all of that. After removing that, I have said my free cash flow is 370. What is free cash flow basically means, out of 764 crores, I am removing the depreciation. I'm saying, chalo, let's assume that depreciation also I remove. If I have to buy a plant or machinery, I'll remove that cost also. I'll remove every cost. I'll remove my inventory cost also that I have bought. Okay. How much do I left after that? कि मेरा अभी कुछ नहीं है देने को. ठीक है? That is 370 crores. But एक चीज है देने को. What is that? I have to pay loan. Correct? Interest I have to pay. After assuming the interest only, I can come to know what is my exact free cash flow. Okay, so after paying loan, this is the loan. Exact free cash flow is FCFE, which is free cash flow to equity. FCFE. This 252 crores. So basically, boys and girls, out of 611 crores that this company made in the year, okay, after removing all his expenses, his actual pure money that he can carry forward to next year is 252 crores, which is a very good amount. He can do whatever he wants with this. This is just a good measure to look at. This is not the only thing to look at. This is just this is another accounting upar niche karke, they're trying to find something which is a metric, like a ratio. This is very similar to a ratio. You get what I'm saying? How you can see 10 different ratios and make out whether a stock is good or bad. Same way, they're also minusing this, minusing that, minusing this, and trying to figure out whether it's good or bad. But free cash flow basically means this is the free money. That's all. It is just free money. Free cash flow is equal to free money. That's all. If a company is doing free money, it is good for the company. Simple logic.
So if company is giving bonus or dividend, they should minus that also here.
Bonus will not come. Dividend they have to minus. Yes.
Okay.
The dividend goes from the balance sheet. I think it goes not from the balance sheet, but dividend goes from the reserves only, usually, most of the time. But yes, dividend goes from all this. So it is here also. Look at this. Should the company have given dividend? The question that someone asked me before, right? If they have so much money, that means they should give dividend. So March 2020, yes, they should have given dividend. According to the math, they should have given dividend. The previous years, they did not have money. Their free cash flow was less, negative. Correct, guys? So the company should not have given dividend. Again, in 16, they had free cash flow of 51. Company should have given dividend, yes.
Can you explain how did it go from 370 to 252? I don't understand that.
You just have to minus the loan. Loan. This is loan.
Okay.
After paying loan.
Okay, all right. Loan interest, right?
Interest, yes.
Shashank, why the March 19 is green and still negative?
It's green and still negative because last year it was minus 523 and this year it's minus 300. So the basic logic here is from last year it has improved. This is not positive negative. This is improve or decrease. Improve or good or bad, basically. So it has improved from last year, yes or no? Yes, it has improved. Not saying it is great, it's still negative, but it's improved. Improved from last year to this year, yes. Should the company have given dividend this year? Yes. Correct. They had money, extra money they had.
You said like 252 crore is good for a company, like for 14,000 market cap company, right? So
yes.
If the company, like what would have been bad?
No. For any company, if they have free cash flow, it is bloody good. That's it. Understand it that way.
Okay.
Barely companies come into profitability only. So think about it that way, okay?
Cool.
Okay, guys.
Shashank, is there any like specific percentage amount, like if suppose for FC, FEE, if there's like some specific percentage amount, you can say that, yeah, this is good. This amount, like for anything usually.
I'm not sure, man. I'll have to check because see, there's different ratios followed by different people. For example, debt to equity ratio. They say that your debt to equity ratio should be 2:1. You should have more debt than your reserves and all that. But it's all ratios, which I don't know. It's just ratios. Some people make sense, some people don't make sense. But I'll find out. I'll find out and tell you in the next class. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. So guys, now with this much, what I've taught you, I will explain all this also in the next class. I will finish this off in the next class. But even with this much analysis, okay, these four things, shareholding, P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow, you should be able to find a good stock. Now you understood, this is a good stock, you understood. Growth is there in sales, less loan, good cash flow, everything is good. Should the company have given dividend? Yes, it would have given dividend also according to this, and has free cash flow. For 5 parameters done. This is a good company. Let's go ahead. Got
Shashank, just one. CFO, you're saying it is green, right? So how do you usually calculate that?
It is a cumulative figure of this.
So just add all of them, right?
Yeah, this is automatically doing that. Don't worry. It is actually doing the last 5 years. I only look at 5 years. So it's the last 5 years. It's cumulative 5 years CFO.
Okay.
Last 5 years positive. Great. I don't even have to think twice. Because if someone's doing a scam, they'll do it from the last 5 years only, no? So I'll understand.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll have another session. I'll update it on the group only. We will have another session and I will finish this. But in the meantime, you can start finding out good stocks. But I'll have the other session very soon. Monday, Tuesday only I'll do another session. And not Tuesday, actually. Tuesday I have my live. Wednesday I'll do another session again. And that day I will give you the first assignment also. And I will share the sheet if I've not shared it before. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Shashank, one more thing. Can you share some people who we can follow on Love?
What? Follow on?
Follow on Value Picker. If you could recommend some.
I'll tell you in the next class. But you can check out Hitesh Chowdhury, or no, not Chowdhury. One guy is called Hitesh. Check out Hitesh and Vikas Sinha. Two guys. I follow these two guys.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Perfect. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.